These remind me a lot of the LeBron 7 and 8 when Nike gave him slimmed down models of the main signature shoe for the playoffs. Those were awesome, and so were these. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another WearTesters performance review. My name is Jackson, and today we're talking about the Nike Zoom LeBron NXXT Gen. The LeBron 20 is one of the best, most well-rounded shoes on the market today, and the worst thing about them is that they're $200. So enter these. Takes the price down from $200 to $160. Are these just a poor man's LeBron 20? No. And actually, I think for some people, you're actually gonna prefer this over the LeBron 20.
What?
So there's a lot of good stuff in here, but my favorite attribute is the fit. I got my true size, same as I did on the LeBron 20, and these things are snug, like really snug. Like the last time I remember wearing a shoe that just wrapped up my foot as tightly as this shoe does was the PG5, and that shoe had an awesome fit. And this is exactly what I love. There's absolutely zero dead space. There's zero movement within the shoe, and lockdown is pretty much perfect. And because of the soft materials, even though you have a tight fit, it's just a tight fit. It's not painful, it's not gonna pinch you anywhere, because having a snug fit can suck if the materials dig into your foot in any way or they don't flex well. You don't have to worry about this with the NXXT Gen. They feel awesome. If you have wide feet, or even like semi-wide feet, like kinda wide, go up a half size. One thing I was concerned about just from looking at the shoe was that you don't sit within the midsole at all. And because of those soft materials, I was a little worried about the lateral stability. But every cut, every defensive maneuver, every change of direction was excellent. So now let's talk traction. The pattern does look similar to the one on the LeBron 20, but the pattern on the NXXT Gen is actually a roadmap of Akron, Ohio, which, as many of you know, is the birthplace of Steph Curry. It's also LeBron James's hometown. As for how it performs, it's pretty much the same as the LeBron 20. It's multi-directional, the pattern wraps up the midsole in the forefoot, both on the lateral and the medial side, and it handles dust pretty well. It's not quite top tier. If you're on an extremely dusty, like grimy middle school court or something like that, you're not gonna be sticking to the floor like you would in these or like you would in these, but those outsole grooves are pretty deep, so the dust isn't gonna get caked in, it's not gonna get clogged up in the pattern, so keeping up with, wiping the soles is pretty easy. I wouldn't recommend the NXXT Gen for outdoor use. I actually did get to play in them outside a little bit, and there is some wear on the outsole, although not as much as I expected there to be. It may be the fact that this has a translucent rubber compound, while the LeBron 20 that I played in had solid rubber. I'm actually noticing that the NXXT Gen's outsole has been more durable than the LeBron 20's outsole.
Wow.
Which was starting to fray and chip away after just 2 weeks of indoor use exclusively. So I guess if you play on like a nicer, smoother outdoor surface, you might be able to get some decent life out of these outsoles. However, there are still better options out there as far as outsole durability is concerned, and definitely at a better price point than $160. All right, now let's move on to the cushion. You've got that big heel zoom unit and that forefoot zoom turbo that you had in the LeBron 20. What changes here though is that those zoom units are encased in Phylon foam as opposed to the Cushlon that was on the LeBron 20. Quick drink. So it makes for a more responsive and stable ride as opposed to the more plush feeling that the LeBron 20 had. And also that same kind of plush feeling that is on other shoes that have Cushlon and React foam. So if you're looking for that, you're not gonna get that with the NXXT Gen. However, you have some pretty good court feel, again, really nice responsiveness and stability underfoot, and those zoom units are still there and they do provide good impact protection. If you were a fan of the Kyrie models that utilize that forefoot zoom turbo, or if you're a fan of like the Kobe 5 and 6, either the originals that had that circular Met bag in the forefoot encased in Phylon, or the Protros that have zoom turbo and Cushlon, if you're a fan of those setups, I think you're gonna be a fan of this one as well. As for the insoles, here's the box, by the way. As for the insoles, it's, nothing special, and like a lot of Nike shoes nowadays, they're heavily glued on the bottom. My issue with my insoles is that they were like super bent, and I couldn't get them to just lay flat on the footbed like they need to, so I took them out. I will advise you though, if you are gonna swap out the insoles, make sure you're not putting anything in there that's gonna raise your foot up anymore, because again, there's no dead space in this shoe at all. There's no space for you to take up with a thicker insole. So if you do that, you might run into some sizing issues. Now for materials, it's a lot of mesh and some kind of pseudo suede panels there at the toe for added durability, and here in the heel and on the medial side, that suede-ish panel extends in through the midfoot. Again, the materials are super soft and they allow for a super tight fit that doesn't feel, you know, constrictive, or it doesn't dig into your foot at all. And 0 break-in time is required. These things are ready to go straight out of the box. The tongue is well padded. It creates a half booty there in the inside of the shoe. And so the material that you see there on the tongue is the same material that's gonna be backing that thin open mesh. So with that, the breathability is decent. It's not gonna be like Leno weave or, you know, wide open fuse type breathability, but it is solid. It's better than what you had on the LeBron 20. As for the support, it starts with that awesome fit. One noticeable thing that is gone from the LeBron 20 on this is that massive carbon fiber shank in the midfoot. You don't have that here. It makes the shoe feel a lot less beefy. But if you're someone who really wants that heavy duty support, you might want to opt for the LeBron 20 instead of these. What you do have on the next gen is an internal TPU shank. It definitely did the job for me. It's not quite as rigid as the LeBron 20 as you might expect. So other support features, you have an internal heel counter back here. You have a flat, fairly wide base. You don't have a pronounced outrigger, but I experienced 0 stability issues, nothing that would raise a red flag for me. I didn't have any pain in my arches. I didn't have any pain anywhere because it's a great, supportive, comfortable basketball shoe. So overall, the Nike Zoom LeBron NXXT Gen is a shoe that really caters to like my specific preferences in a basketball shoe. It's quick, it's responsive, it's stable, the fit is like dead on. It took a lot of the things that were great about the LeBron 20 and just kind of slimmed it down, catered it more towards maybe guards or perimeter oriented players who want something a little more quick and responsive without sacrificing cushion. It's leaner, it's quicker, it may not be as premium as something like the LeBron 20 or like the Way of Wade 10, but it performs extremely well. And at 160 bucks, you're in the same price range as the Curry 10, the Kawhi 3, the Wade 808-2 Ultra, and these are gonna be just as good, if not better, than all of those options. If you've played in the LeBron NXXT Gen, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Did you like them as much as I did? Do you think they're, dare I say, kind of Kobe-esque?
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know, let me know. That's about all I've got for the performance review on the LeBron NXXT Gen. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace and much love to you.